The Aurora Borealis put on quite the show.
Yeah, ooh, ah. They were even visible as far south as Missouri, which rarely sees the lights. It was one of about 30 states where the colors did end up being visible.
Also on your fast track this morning, traffic tie-up through downtown Fargo. The Red River at Fargo-Moorhead never made it to major flood stage over the weekend. However, the high water impacts are still lingering, especially for that morning drive of yours in the metro.
Yeah, you may want to plan your morning drive around the downtown area or be prepared for some slow going. Floodgates are still blocking your drive on 1st Avenue North, and that meant Friday rush hour from about 7:30 to 8 a.m. was a mess. That's because only the Main and Center Avenue bridges are currently open.
At one point, northbound 4th Street into downtown Fargo was backed up past Island Park, and the westbound Main Avenue traffic from Moorhead was on the bridge and then all the way back several blocks to the M&H gas station along Main. And here tracking the latest changes that we have with our weather and how it impacts flooding is meteorologist Lisa Green. Morning, Lisa.
Good morning. Yeah, we're going to add some more moisture to the mix here this week, but not until the second part of the week here again. Looking at our week starting off with relatively quiet weather. This is our chance for precipitation. So today, tomorrow, looking pretty good, even though we've been talking about a few sprinkles or flurries today. Heading into Wednesday, that's when we're ramping up our chances for scattered areas of rain, and eventually into Thursday and maybe even carrying on into the weekend, those scattered areas of rain may also try to mix over to a little bit of snow, unfortunately. So we're going to watch for that here as we head into the week. So be prepared for those changes as the week goes on. But the next couple of days looking pretty good to kick off the week. Here's our view right now, the radar and satellite picture in the Red River Valley. Most places are seeing some clearer skies in the south. North, we have a few more clouds, especially in northwest Minnesota, and those may be producing some flurries. You see a few of those flecks of blue on the map there, indicating that there could be some flurry activity there. And here in Fargo, we're looking at some sunshine and blue sky here to start off. It's 28 degrees though. It's a little cool. Wind is light and out of the northwest at 5 miles per hour. Feels more like 23 degrees. And in Grand Forks, we've got some sunshine as well. You can see it shining off the buildings in downtown Grand Forks. We're looking from the east Grand Forks side of the river, and there's the Sorley Bridge. You can see the river very close to the bottom of it as it continues to spill out of its banks. You can check the river levels for Grand Forks and everywhere on the VNL weather app throughout the event. And we're looking at 27 degrees in Grand Forks. So this is good again for flooding concerns. We're melting snow still, and we want to see those overnight temperatures drop below freezing to keep things nice and slow. Here's a look at our conditions out at the bus stop. Below freezing this morning for kids. After we get home from school, we're talking about temperatures more into the 40s in a lot of spots. The wind stays on the light side. And for those of us in eastern North Dakota, we're more likely to have more partly cloudy skies this afternoon. For those of us into northwest Minnesota, especially the farther north and east we go, that's where we're more likely to see more mostly cloudy skies in the afternoon. And again, that's the place that might have a few more sprinkles. Now, through the rest of the week, tomorrow again looking pretty good, and we're stepping our temperatures here as we go into Wednesday and Thursday. But again, that coincides with the chance for precipitation, and we'll continue to monitor that for you as we get toward the middle part of the week and toward the end of the week. But hey, May starting off really nicely here at the bottom of the screen here. Monday is May 1st, and we're looking at temperatures getting into the low to some upper 50s. So actually getting close to our average highs for this time of year. Finally, we'll have to wait for it, but it looks like it's coming our way.
So happy to just be near average.
I know. We've been running low. Fortunately for us, our average high has been going up. So even if we stay below, our numbers are going up too. It's just been a slow progress.
Yeah, it sure has. Okay, Lisa, thank you.
Well, it's been a tough weekend. 3 children are now dead, all after ATV crashes over this past weekend. A big tragic reminder to all of us about the type of safety needed for those vehicles. A 13-year-old boy died Saturday in Chisago County. That's where he was found near an ATV.
Police say no one saw that crash, and deputies are trying to confirm exactly what happened. The other families were in Washington County, where 2 10-year-olds were found trapped under an ATV in the town of Afton. It's the night that many teens never want to forget. We're talking about prom, but the fun can turn sour just from making the wrong choice to drive drunk or distracted.
The Valley Today's Nishay Taylor joining us live this morning with the details on why law enforcement is asking parents to talk to their kids about safe driving. Good morning, Nishay.
Good morning, Jordan and Ashland. Local law enforcement is urging teens to avoid driving drunk or distracted. They say teen drivers should be putting away all distractions, such as their phones when out on the roads during prom night. Now, they also say teens should also be paying attention to what's going on while on the roads. And driving drunk is never a good idea. Plus, it's against the law.
There are criminal penalties for a DUI, depending again upon your intoxication level, the type of violation that you've committed, whether it's a B misdemeanor, an A misdemeanor, or it could be a felony as well.
Well, teens could also run the risk of losing their license, even having it suspended or taken away completely if they are caught driving drunk. And it also all depends on the level of intoxication. Reporting live in Fargo, Nishay Taylor, Valley News Live.
Yeah, it's a night of glitz and glamour, and we focus on that a lot of the time, but it's important to bring in the safety aspect. Thank you for that information this morning, Nishay.
We have new information just into our newsroom right now on the former Brooklyn Center Minnesota police officer who shot and killed Dante Wright during a traffic stop 2 years ago. Kim Potter is now out of prison. She was released from the Shakopee Correctional Facility earlier this morning. Potter served 16 months for manslaughter and will serve another 8 months of supervised release.
The deadly confrontation unfolded April 11th of 2021 when Wright was pulled over for expired tabs. It turned out he had an open warrant on a weapons charge. That's when police tried arresting him, but he struggled. That's when Potter mistakenly drew her firearm instead of her stun gun to subdue him, killing him.
One man is being treated for injuries after a motorcycle crash in South Fargo. This was the scene. Police say he was traveling at a high rate of speed when he hit the side of a service vehicle.
It happened around 6 last night in the 3200 block of South University Drive. His injuries, though, are not considered life-threatening. And it was a scary afternoon for people in a South Fargo apartment building. Fire alarms went off just before 1 in a complex in the 4300 block of 9th Avenue Circle. When fire crews pulled up, black smoke was pouring out from a first-floor window. Now, the person living in the unit made it out but was taken to the hospital for smoke inhalation. Firefighters say flames were contained to one bedroom. People who evacuated the building were allowed to go back in a short time later. No word yet on the cause of the fire or a damage estimate.
2 people are dead and 2 firefighters hurt after an apartment fire in Duluth over the weekend. One victim was pulled through a window, but they later died at the hospital. Crews were pushed back during a second rescue attempt at that same apartment after the fire flashed over. Now, the people inside that they were trying to save were found dead. 2 firefighters were burned during their rescue efforts, and even their protective clothing had significant damage, but they have since been released from the hospital. An officer-involved shooting in Bismarck. One man is in jail after a high-speed chase late Saturday night. Police say they tried pulling over 34-year-old Kyle Johnson for speeding, but he kept going.
They say at one point he got out of his car holding a gun. That's when he was shot. Johnson was treated at the hospital, then taken to jail on reckless endangerment and drug charges. One officer was hurt during the incident as well. A drive-by shooting, attempted home invasion, and even a high-speed chase, all in Cass County, Minnesota. It all began yesterday morning around 6 in a rural Cass Lake. A man was treated for a gunshot wound after being shot at a home there. While at that address, police got a call about another shooting at an apartment building in town.
Turns out there were no shots fired there, but the building was damaged when someone tried to force their way in. A suspected vehicle was spotted and pulled over, but the 3 people inside it took off running. All 3 were eventually arrested. No word yet, though, on what led up to the shooting.
Well, after years of revamped legislation and countless hours of hearings, Minnesota House members will vote on legalizing recreational marijuana today.
That bill would make it legal for people over the age of 21 to buy pot. If it passes the House, that bill would then go to the Senate. We have a serious consumer alert for you this morning. It's a recall warning to park your Chevy pickups outside and away from buildings. General Motors is recalling certain Silverado medium-duty trucks from model year 2019 or later because of a potential leak in brake fluid that could start a fire.
The recall involves models 4500, 5500, and 6500 HD, all built from the years 2019 to 2023.
Well, thank you for joining us on the Valley Today. The Today Show and CBS Mornings are just about to start.
But the Valley Today rolls on per usual. We've got more live up-to-the-minute news and weather coming up right now on the Fargo CW. DFW. If you have to head out the door, bundle up this morning. A chilly start, but boy, a pretty one with this sunrise.
It sure is. Thanks for joining us.